Hi, I'm so delighted that we have Norma Vijeila with us today. She's a principal at Learn for Life Adolescents in the LA area, Los Angeles. Norma, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Ruby. Greetings
And,
from LA.
and Norma is a certified trainer in emotional poverty 1 and emotional poverty 2. And she uses those as a principal of her building. So can you talk a little bit about how you've used it and what you found?
So, I think I got hooked to the book when I read it, and it was very different going through the book by myself and then going through the book with you and the certification process. And then the next step, the next layer was bringing it to my staff and really diving through each one of the lessons, each one of the chapters. We've been able to use it to address the behavior. We used to have a lot of behavior issues at our school. And, we attempted to approach it from a restorative justice and like other approaches that really dealt with the aftermath of the behavior. But through emotional poverty, we've been able to do a lot more proactive, putting in place a lot more proactive approaches to really deal with our students and their emotions, and also dealing with the educators and the emotions and how we contribute to positive behavior. So I think, through being certified as the administrator when I'm dealing with behavior, and now that my whole team has gone through the training process, we're all able to speak the same language, let's say, speak the same language about emotional poverty. Because now when we're addressing our students and we talk about care and what we're going to do for the student after, the aftermath, after an emotional hit, we're able to say, let's go the emotional poverty route. And what are we going to do for this student? So I think it has been really enriching to our environment because we are able to speak the same language and put approaches or things in place that are really going to serve the student, but also are going to be really respectful to the educator, the teachers, the administrators, and to the whole school environment. I love it, and I recommend it to everybody, and I talk to my staff, and my staff also is able to speak the same language, and we all find that it has been very proactive for us rather than the reactive approach.
Well, one thing I was hoping that the book would do would be allow people to understand the emotional part of the interaction and see the individual as injured, not bad, not sick, but injured, and then thinking about how not to re-injure them. And so from what you've said, it sounds like that's kind of the approach you've used on staff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for staff and for our students. That we understand that emotions are real and they move really fast. And we also understand that we all carry emotions. It's not only the students, but sometimes the educators, myself, have been part of, making that emotion bubble up more for our students. So with that understanding, we also can understand, like, what is it that I can contribute to this relationship right now when we have it in front of us? And also what we can continue to contribute to our students so that they have better relationships. And, Ruby, like we've seen it in the last year, that is like that emotional poverty has given us a respectful environment where even students understand their own emotions and they're able to say, you know what, right now I'm getting really upset about something, but I'm going to be able to walk away and calm down, or I'm going to be able to put it on hold right now and not do it in front of, my teacher that really cares for me, or my administrator that really is caring for me. So it's transformed our school environment because we have less discipline problems, and also we have students that want to come to school because they feel that the whole environment is about like love and respect and just, being able to address those emotions without naming the emotions, without being, all hugs and kisses, but really with really that respect. I work with high school students. So, at the high school level, it's really hard to really say, like, let's talk about emotions because everybody gets nervous about it.
And you're also working with students who have found the traditional setting very difficult to negotiate.
we work with alternative education. So our students are typically have been disengaged from the traditional school system. So, you know, in a regular school, you may have a handful of these students that are having some behavior problems. At our school, we're getting a whole lot of them that are coming in with a lot of like emotional hits or a lot of emotional noise. So we're able to work with them, and it has been successful.
And would you say, if you talk about a process, so if other principals or other leaders are thinking about doing this in their campuses, the process is, was you got the training, and then did you also do the training with your staff?
Yes. So I first started to get really involved with the book, really like diving into the, you know, the model of the hand, and even the model of the hand, teaching it to some students and finding out like what do they think about the hand model, and then bringing it to my admin team. I brought the admin team together to like, let's explore what this book is telling us about behavior and emotions. But after I got certified, I just found it as a really great opportunity to be the person, kind of like the face of emotional poverty, to bring it to my staff. So I definitely do recommend the teams, the admin teams, to go through this process. Because when you're the administrator that's most of the time dealing with the emotional hits and the aftermath of the emotional hits, it's really powerful where you present it to your staff, and we're able to talk about like what are our, not only what the book is telling us that may be potential emotional hits, but let's talk about the ones that are happening on my campus right now, on our campus. And let's collaborate so that we can come up with better solutions, and how do we use these strategies. And from there, like from me being certified and bringing up, let's say, your recommendations for how to calm students down, then we can go through the entire list. And me being the trainer and walking with it through it with them, we're able to say like which ones are going to work for this group of students, which ones may not work for them, which ones may be better for males, which ones would be better for females. So I just think, you know, administrators should go through it rather than delegating to somebody else, because I think there's more power in being able to work with the entire team and saying, let's talk about emotional poverty, and let's talk about like what works for our own campus.
Thank you so much. And if somebody wanted to contact you directly, how could they do that? You want to give them an email?
They could totally contact me by email or by cell phone.
What's your email?
My email is N Vijeila, Vijeila, at innovationhigh.org.
Great. And thank you so much for your time today. And it's great to see you again.
Thank you, Ruby. It's always a pleasure.